Hi guys, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome old, welcome new. Good morning. Last night I watched an old film called Oklahoma, a musical. I sat on my sofa, laid back, and I watched that yesterday evening before I went out to walk Max. Oklahoma. I do like watching my old films, you see. Um, so I watched that and I walked Max late in the evening and I came home and I felt like emotionally exhausted, tired, drained, and I went to bed and I was woken up at 3:30 in the morning because young people go out nightclubbing, don't they? Of course they do. And it's jolly to hear a couple running down the road and she was shouting out, "I'm bursting for a wee!" And they ran off down the road down the bottom. And then I got up and funnily enough I went to the toilet. But at my age I don't really go out. When I was with Graham, he was like a really good companion to me a couple of years back. We used to go to pubs in Maidstone and restaurants in Maidstone, and we'd have like a 3 or 4 course meal together, and we went to the King Charles Hotel in Gillingham a couple of times and had a meal there in the King Charles Hotel in Gillingham. I've still got pictures of Graham and the King Charles Hotel from a few years back on my phone. So I used to have a jolly good time. And then Graham went about a couple of months before my 50th birthday. I'm 53 now. Feel a bit lost about him actually. Well, he must be in his 70s now, Graham. He was about 68 when I met him. He must be 71, 72 now. Very jolly, friendly chap that used to take me out to places. I miss that. When the weather gets a bit warmer, I shall go to the seaside. I'll even take Max on the train, I think. I'll take Max to the seaside on the train just to sit on the beach and I shall take a picnic. Because you're not supposed to take dogs in shops, not really. They might allow you here, but I don't know if they will in a seaside resort. So yeah, this morning, it looks like it's going to be a nice day. The sun was out first thing this morning. I feel fine. As soon as I get up, people have left me messages on Facebook dating. Hey, beautiful. If they think I'm beautiful, I'm very flattered. Thank you so much. The thing is, don't get rubbed up the wrong way like I do. When people easily wind me up. I haven't met one person off this Facebook dating site or Plenty of Fish, and it seems to be the same person or persons. It could be a group of them winding me up, and they always put kisses after their messages. And I think 1 or 2 people put kisses after their messages, but not all of them. See, bullies can just not be one, there can be a group of them keeping tabs on me and following me about and trying to make my life a misery. It could be more than one. Tesco lorry's gone down the road. Surprise, surprise. I should probably be going out to the co-op today to restock some snacks and some drinks. The co-op, which is just down the road from me. I don't get my food from Tesco's, as you know. I use Sainsbury's and they're pretty good. So I'm going to try and make my Sunday happy. And it's all going to be done by myself because nobody else has any intention of making me happy. They want to make me angry and me miserable. So I have got to dig myself up out of what I felt yesterday, morning and afternoon and evening, and make myself happy because nobody else will. So what I'm going to do is I obviously walk Max every morning. I'm going to do a bit of keep fit. I'm going to blow up some balloons and I'm not going to take any notice of people, hating on me because life is short. No one wants to go around being upset and angry, especially when they're halfway through their life. They don't want to go around and do they? It's just ridiculous. In Gloucestershire, I did some really outrageous stuff because I had lost my flat. I had lost all my clothes. I had lost all my possessions. I was angry. I sang out loud in the street. Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer, and the other ones of Bon Jovi. I got my aggression out by singing. And I did get cross about the way I was treated, and that's natural. When you're flung out on the street, a children's mother, and you're waiting in a homeless queue for 3 hours with drug addicts and convicts to go into a woman's refuge, and I didn't have a suitcase, I didn't have a bag of clothes, I had my purse. I don't even think I had a coat, a proper coat. And then these women would arrive at the women's refuge with suitcases full of stuff, 4 or 5 kids. Their hair had been done, and if you're suffering domestic abuse, you look a mess. You do. You've been beaten, you've been shoved about, you've been treated like shit. You don't look like a princess when you've been thrown out on the street with nothing, and you've been wandering the streets with nothing, no money, nothing. The wind's blown your hair about, your shoes have got holes in, and you're in pain and tired. You don't just wander into a refuge with all your hair done and piles of clothes and belongings when you've been thrown out in the gutter like I was. I mean, for goodness sake, they used to walk in with all their hair done and their makeup. And the workers in the women's refuge had the most expensive cars possible when I just have my 2 feet. So if somebody thinks by winding me up about my looks that's gonna... I've been through hell and back. I'm not gonna worry about what someone thinks I look like, for goodness sake. Alexa, can you put LBC radio on, please?
LBC London from Global Care. They wanted to send a rude message to the government, and that is what people use local elections for. The irony is that a lot of people who are worried about the cost of living went out and put their crosses by the party that is most likely to raise council tax.
How big a deal? Yes, noted. Have you sort of factored in how much you think Boris Johnson was to do with that particular vote? People who were traditionally in the southern heartland vote for a Conservative Prime Minister if they're voting on national issues, didn't because of Boris.
I think the Boris factor was undeniably there, but also I think if you ask any of those people, okay, who do you want to see in his place, they'd be very hard put to give you an answer.
Bring back Anne Wickham, they'd say.
Well, that's very kind of them, but I think I'm a little bit ancient now.
And it's good speaking with you. Thank you for your time. Former Conservative Minister and Shadow Home Secretary. Come on then, Beergate, let's get going on it. 03456060973. I wonder what the Green Party make of it all. They've hailed what they've described as phenomenal local election results that headed above 80 games in areas including South Tyneside, Cumberland, Oxford and Worcester. They've done very well. We'll be joined by the co-leader of the Green Party, Carla Denyer. She says she doesn't particularly want to talk about Beergate, but inevitably I think I have to ask her about it. I'm asking you about it. Do you think it's abject hypocrisy from Sir Keir Starmer to call for the resignation of Boris Johnson on the announcement of an investigation into the possibility of parties or gatherings that were illegal, and then when the same accusation is made to him, there's no sense that he's going to resign whatsoever, and only Diane Abbott on his benches has come out and said, well, if he does get a fine, he should consider his position, and that's it. I mean, are they playing by the same rules? Is he playing by the same rules? Or is he hoisted by his own petard? Lottie Morgan.
Sinn Féin has secured the most seats in the Northern Ireland Assembly election. An extra £1.3 billion will be sent from the UK to Ukraine over the next year for extra military support. Sir Keir Starmer insists he will lead the Labour Party into the next election after he was accused of breaking the lockdown laws. The weather, sunny for most this morning, a high of 18 degrees. LBC travel line Sarah Devine in Surrey on the M3 northbound. There's one lane closed just after junction 3 for Lightwater and Bagshot. There's emergency.
Alexa, stop. Right, guys. Alexa, what's the time?
The time is 8:19 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Sunday the 8th of May.
Right, so I'm going to do my best to have a happy Sunday by myself with the sun shining through the window and on the balcony. Max is scratching to get in. Hello. Hello. Right, guys, I'm going to get off and do what I normally do by myself. And one thing I did notice that the guy that met me by the co-op looked like Prince Albert of Monaco, and Fergie, Sarah Ferguson, met Prince Albert of Monaco a few days ago. And I was called Fergie at GEC Avionics, where I worked as a draftsman's library assistant. The draftsman in the library used to make, it was all about aeroplanes, so they made, I copied die-line prints of aeroplanes, the insides that they designed, etc. of aeroplanes. So they called me Fergie in 1985 and 1986 because I had copper hair and I wore a blue bow in the back of my head on a ponytail. So you see what they do? Fergie met Prince Albert. And I'm still by myself. See you later.